Welcome, everybody. Dr. J was shaking. Matthew Craig official. What's happening? Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. I think it's Sunday. I've been working. This filter is way wrong. I look. I look. If you've ever been to like a newscast where you see someone who has put in makeup, this is what they look like when you run into them in the hallway. Hang on, let me change the effect. Oh, wait, that was not the right one. Let's see. Enhance effects. No, that's not right. Enhance. Enhance filters. Let's say. Let's do this. No. That's not too bad. Yeah, that's good. That's kind of more like skin. Vintage? No. Youth. Twilight. We'll go Twilight. Twine. Remember that Jim Gaffigan joke? Gotta go down to the hardware store to get twine. Oh, welcome everybody. Did you know there's a Santa Claus filter? You can pretend to be Santa. Maybe if we get close to December, I'll go all Santa. So welcome everyone. Oh, holy crap! There's a lot of people here. My name's Kyle Shannon. This is the AI Learning Lab. Here's a whole bunch of cool pictures that I made in Ideogram. If you don't know Ideogram, there's some cool stuff there. You can actually make images now with words on them. Words. So what we do here, my name is Kyle Shannon. I like talking about this generative AI stuff. We got some folks show up here regularly. They're called the Irregulars. They're down in the comments. They'll help. At some point, I'm going to make them moderators. I like to talk about all this generative AI stuff. I'm an entrepreneur. I've started lots and lots of companies. My current gig is I'm founder and CEO of a company called Storyvine. And in the mid-90s, I co-founded a company called agency.com. And I bring that up just because the early days of the World Wide Web and the early days of this generative AI stuff, there's a lot of parallels. It's feeling very deja vu all over again. So we'll talk about that. If you have questions and comments, pop them in the comments below. I do my best to answer everything. The other thing that we'll do is we'll sort of kick off tonight talking about if you're new to this AI stuff, if you're just sick of people like, you should try AI. And you're like, I don't want to try AI. What is this AI anyway? What is internet anyway? We'll walk you through that. We'll get you up to speed. That's part of what this channel's about. Part of it's just about talking shit. I like to make funny voices. I don't know. We have fun. We have a good time here. So we'll hang out. It's Sunday night. You're not doing anything else. Might as well hang out here, right? Okay. So if you're brand new to ChatGPT, thank you, Matthias. Go there. Go to chat.openai.com. That's the official ChatGPT website. Go there. And if you don't quite know what to do there, you can sort of ask it anything. But you can start out with what I call parlor tricks. Have it write you a country song about and describe your dog or a significant other. Or have it write you a marketing plan. Or just tell it to do something that seems random and like it couldn't do and watch what it does. And then go to this thing, prompts.chat. That's a document. And that will teach you how to talk to these things. These are called large language models. That one's ChatGPT. Right now it's the best. But there are a lot of companies nipping at their heels right now. But it's good. I'll talk about these other ones in a bit. A couple other things to update. I think, now just to be clear, I'm an old guy on TikTok, right? So I'm figuring this shit out. I think I got a store set up so that there's products. So I don't know what your interface looks like. Mine has a little button called shop on it. And there's a women's t-shirt, a men's t-shirt, and a tote bag. I just put them in there kind of as a test. There's only one design right now. I'm not weird. I'm irregular. So it's for the irregulars. So if the irregulars are here, if you would just go check the store out and let me know, like, is it there? Does it look functional? You don't have to buy anything right now. If you want to, fine. But so anyway, that's there. The other thing that I did, if you go to the YouTube channel, YouTube AI Learning Lab -TT, regular at AI Learning Lab was taken, so the -TT is for TikTok. That's archives of these videos. I got all the way through June is uploaded there, and I actually figured out the prompting for generating chapters. So I got in, like, I don't know, 25 or 30 descriptions and chapters in there, so you can go see that. Okay, store looks great. Awesome. Terrific. Hey, Kyle. Hey, irregulars. Hey, Steve-O with Shaken Man. Store looks great. Awesome. Yeah, it's working fine. Okay, good. Awesome. So I guess I know what I'm doing. I guess now I need to figure out some products. I'm going to do a you can make money with ChatGPT. Huh?
You can make money with ChatGPT!
If you're wondering how to make money with ChatGPT, we can talk about that. Feel free to ask comments below. Okay, let's see. Let's jump in and talk about this stuff. Okay, so as I said before, that's the official ChatGPT website. The reason I have 3 of these here, these tools right now, a lot of these AI tools, as sexy as they are and as powerful as they are, they're what I like to call, it's a technical term, janky pieces of shit. Because we're very early in whatever this, why is that not zooming smoothly? There we go. We're just very early. So even though machine learning and AI has been around for a while, this generative AI, this idea of ChatGPT and things like it, relatively new. So a lot of the software is very, very simple and doesn't do a lot of sophisticated stuff. And because of that, you kind of have to play with different ones. So they're good at different things. So ChatGPT is really good at writing. So GPT-4 in particular, if you pay the $20 a month here, you get GPT-4. You also get this thing called Advanced Data Analytics, which is mind-blowing. You also get plugins, and they're going to give you early access to new technology as they roll it out. They're the sort of 800-pound gorilla right now. Others are coming, but it really is the best. Claude is a bunch of ex-OpenAI people that started this company called Anthropic. What's cool about Claude is it's got a 100,000 token context window, which is about 75,000 words, which basically means this. You could paste a 50,000 word novel into the prompt and tell it to write you an epilogue for your novel. It'll just do it. Claude's pretty remarkable. So if I have big documents or I have something big I want to go through, I use Claude. Bard is Google's entry into this space. They just made the top 3. What are the criteria for the top 3? I don't know. Get a wild hair up my ass and I decide what's in the top 3. Right now, these are the 3 that are the most useful for me. Who's at the kids table? Kids table, still useful, still worth playing with, and exploring. Bing is Microsoft's large language model. It's actually built on top of GPT-4, so it's like ChatGPT, but it's connected to the internet. You can make images there. You can analyze images there. Perplexity.ai is a really good research tool. Labs.perplexity lets you play with Meta's Llama 2 models and their new Code Llama model, which in terms of coding actually just beat GPT-4. So if you're having frustrations with GPT-4 with coding, try out Code Llama. Then Pi.ai, they have an app and a website, and it's what we call here in the lab Chatty GPT. It will just talk your ear off. So if you want to get work done, don't use Pi. But if you want to have a conversation, it's very, very interesting. And then Poe.com's got a lot of bots and things like that that you can play with. I used Poe today because I got rate limited out of Claude because I was doing 3-hour YouTube or TikTok transcriptions, YouTube transcriptions, and I got booted out, so I was using Poe to do it. Togas, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So Poe can be very, very useful. Then finally, the pictures. But how do we make pictures, Kyle? Tell me how to make pictures. I want to make pictures. It's all about the pretty pictures. Please stop talking. For the love of God, shut up. Just shut up. Shut it. Zip it. All right. Midjourney's the best. Ideogram is 8 days old, maybe 9 days old. It does text. This is a startup. They raised $16.5 million, led by Andreessen Horowitz. It's an ex-Google? I think it's an ex-Google person. Started that, and they figured out how to do text before the big players like Stable Diffusion and Midjourney. Mind-blowing. And that's what's going on in this business right now. We don't know where the innovation is going to come from, and all these companies are sort of fighting to one-up each other. So we're the beneficiaries of that. Leonardo and ClipDrop are both based on top of Stable Diffusion. Leonardo is just a really good website where you don't have to install your own shit. And ClipDrop is from Stability AI. Those are the people that make Stable Diffusion. There's some pretty cool tools there. And then Prompt Book will teach you how to talk to these things and sort of teach you how powerful they are. And then finally, Futurepedia is a big long list of what do you call it? AI tools. I never remember that. By the way, for the irregulars, drinks tonight. A cheap wine we bought at Safeway. Hold. Grocery store wine. Oh yeah, it's solid. And then Rocky Mountain tap water. Filtered Rocky Mountain tap water. All right, so let's get to the questions. Pop your questions in below, and I will do my best to answer them. I will get behind. That's one of the things I do. I also cuss. I make funny voices. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Let's see what we got. I'm hesitant. Wait. Let me flip this around. Let's get things set up here. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like taters. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. I'm hesitant to discredit anyone because I lost more money in cryptocurrencies than I care to admit. Story looks great. Have you heard of Kit or PayHip for cheap e-commerce store and easy setup? I have not. I'm using Printful right now because I want to do print on demand because I don't want to. I can't have inventory. I'm not running that business, but I thought it would be cool to have something there. So right now I'm using Printful, but if I decide to ever sell
You can make money with ChatGPT.
these things, I gotta figure that shit out. So at some point I'll figure it out. All right. Oops, sent twice. That's okay. Kyle in a regular story looks great. Hey, Marie D, what's shaking? Matthias. PTLD is Portland, I suppose. This stuff reminds me of Lincoln Logs Erector Set, Legos, Radio Shack 64 in one chemistry set. What stuff reminds you of it? Oh, like all the AI tools right now? They're totally like that. They're totally just janky ass. You got to glue them together. And they're the most like, what was the erector sets, right? Yeah, the erector sets because they have the little nuts and bolts and the little cheap wrench. And when it would slip, you would cut your knuckle open on the erector set. That's what using AI is like right now. You're like, oh, this is cool. That sucks. Oh, good Lord. Tyrant Truth, what's happening? Emilio's wife was shaken. Please, folks, most of you probably know, but don't let anyone guide or help to buy crypto. Yeah, so we had a scammer. So the AI Learning Lab had someone that copied the channel and then was trying to sell members crypto stuff. If anyone is pretending to be me or anyone reaches out trying to sell you crypto shit or even just getting you to log in with your crypto wallet to their stupid fucking site, don't do it. So I don't know if that's going on again, but yes, what Winston says, just be very careful. Just crypto stuff is if you think AI tools are jankier than shit, crypto tools are really fucking special. You have to be very technically savvy, and even then, I know of a lot of people that had a lot of money just vacuumed out of their accounts because they clicked on one link. And you're like, but Kyle, it shouldn't be that easy to steal people's money. I agree. And what the crypto bros will say is, not your keys, not your crypto. Yeah, so there's something, yeah. Anyway, just anyone tries to sell you crypto shit, do not do it. It is not the road to riches. Well, except for them, it is. It's the road to riches for them. All right, let's see. What questions do you have? Hi, boss. How are you today? Well, Johnson Royalty. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I was busy all day. I was downloading videos, uploading videos, using Poe and Claude to write YouTube descriptions with chapter things. That was pretty interesting. I'll talk about that in a bit. Then I was working on the e-commerce store, well, just whatever, all that shit. So I was busy all day today, and then I mowed, and then I went to Costco because I know how to live, and then what else? I don't know. Watched a little U.S. Open tennis. Djokovic, not so dramatic today, won in straight sets. 3 Americans are in the quarterfinals, so that's cool. Someone approached me today with what first I thought was a helpful tip, and then he offered to help guide. Yeah, Winston, sorry about that. That's probably the scammer. Got a bunch of people's, handles, even though they deleted his account. He's probably just got a spreadsheet that he's working his way down. So, yeah, anyone wants to guide you to crypto, tell them to fuck off. I will not do that. If we're gonna do a pyramid scheme in this place, I'm gonna call it a pyramid scheme. We'll be transparent. Oh, that stuff pisses me off. All right, but thank you for sharing that happened to you, Winston, and for letting people know. Yeah, exactly. How welcome 3 times is the number of times I subscribed in 6 seconds with my mini phone. I I hope you didn't subscribe 3 times. Piquant, but not too sassy. What do you know about DMSO? I forget what DMSO is. Hang on. Dimethyl sulfoxide? No, I don't. I assume that's not what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Explain it, and I'll see if I know anything about it. I don't think I know anything about it. How meaning ho 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 ho. Welcome. Hey, regular Share Bear was shaking. Okay, Farmer is here. What AI can create a metaverse? Well, there's what the hell's it called? Something Labs. Hold. 58-year-old brain trying to remember something. Oh, please. Gen X meltdown. Not Dream Fusion. Blockade Labs. That's what it is. Skybox. All right, so this isn't exactly creating a metaverse, but this is pretty fucking cool. So I'll show you this. I have read and I accept your terms. By the way, oh, you wanna see something fun? So where I am is I'm at skybox.blockadelabs.com, and then they've got a what's new since you last logged in, and they have I have read and accepted the terms of service and the privacy policy. I am not a manual reader. I have never in my life read terms of service, and I assume most people are like that. Some people do. I don't. You know what I do now? I go to that site, and so there's the terms of service, and I'm just going to copy them all. And I'm going to copy them. I'm going to go over to Poe. I'm going to say new conversation. So Poe's just a large language model, but I've got the Claude 2 100,000 tokens. So I can just paste that whole damn thing in there. So let's see. Based on these terms of service, colon, paste. There's all the terms of service. Please give me a concise, bulleted list of what I am agreeing to that is material in your POV. Keep each bullet to 7 to 10 words. All right. Now it's going to go read this thing for us. Not that I really give a shit. I'm still going to accept it, but this is just kind of a cool use. It's one of the things that these tools are good at is understanding text and reading it. You own any original assets created with the service. Blockade can use and share your content for promotion. So you own them, but you give them the rights to play with them. You must be 18 years of old. Fees are charged monthly or yearly and are non-refundable. So don't do the yearly thing in case something better comes along. Services can be terminated or suspended at any time. You indemnify Blockade against any losses from your use. Blockade's liability is limited to $50 or fees paid. Disputes must be resolved in individual arbitration. Class action waiver must arbitrate claims individually. Blockade can change terms at any time. So it doesn't seem too egregious. There you go. Bang. So that's a fun thing to do. All right, so we're going to accept those. And I do not want to show this message again. All right. So we have a cool 3D world here, right? Well, what you can do at Blockade Labs is you can just say, get started. You can just say, let's see, dystopian hellscape in a waterlogged dry lake bed. Elements from a hippie festival are strewn about. And then we're going to do, let's see, tech noir, cyber. We'll do realistic. We'll do realistic. All right, so we're going to generate. So this thing will now generate this 3D world. So this isn't exactly generating a metaverse, but this is the beginning of the kinds of things that we're going to be able to do, where you're going to literally be able to just talk something into existence. I know that that there's some folks working on rolling these kind of things into. Oh, that's boring as shit, but gives us what we want. So let's do something else. We'll do infinite cosmos full of exploding planets and spaceships. And then we'll do tech noir cyberpunk. We'll do that. This one should be more interesting. So what Blockade Labs actually is this is just creating kind of a flat image that is done in such a way that they can map it to a sphere. So it makes this thing that looks like you're in a 3D space, but you're actually not. And there's our cool spaceship-looking thing with exploding planets. You better give me an exploding planet. Nah, no exploding planets. I want an exploding planet. I want AI to be perfect, and it's not. But anyway, still pretty flippin' cool. So this is skybox.blockadelabs.com. You can take these and put them into Unreal Engine and put objects in them, and then you're able to navigate them. Right now, it's not super sophisticated. It's not creating a 3D world. But I know that folks are working right now on being able to put together 3D, what are they called? Procedural scenes within Unreal Engine. So this stuff's going to get very real very fast. So Blockade Labs is one to play with. The other thing that I would do is I would go to, because I'm not really keeping up on this stuff because I can't, go to futurepedia.io and look up text to 3D, or just look up 3D or worlds. Just find a category in there that looks like the kind of shit you're looking for. And yeah, there you have it. But pretty cool, isn't it? Ain't that cool? Ain't that cool? It's pretty cool. Pretty cool, you know what I mean? It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Right. All right, let's see. How can we use ChatGPT to make 400% returns in the stock market? Have it teach you how to do technical analysis and start doing day trading, and pray you don't lose your ass when you start leveraging your trades. Don't listen to me. I have a degree in acting, buddy. You know, life is tough, but it's tougher when you're stupid. All right. See, I'm getting better. I'm not getting quite so thrown when someone throws the damn hat on me. All right. What did you do with the chat for coder? Huh? What did I do with it? Like, why is it screwed up and not as good as it was? I didn't do shit with it. I don't work for OpenAI. I haven't noticed it's gotten worse, but I haven't been playing with code with it for all day, every day, like some people are, and saying it's getting worse. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it. What I can tell you is that these tools, all of these tools they're kind of, almost all of them, they're flying the plane as they're building it. So when shit just changes, it's because shit just changed, because they had to deal with a lawsuit, or they had to deal with something broke, or they had to deal with, you know, whatever might be happening. Crypto Joe just joined. Welcome, Crypto Joe. Please do not get any help from anyone with cryptos online. Agree with Winston again. Bacala gift shop. It's annoying. People are scamming and pretending to be others than themselves. It's very annoying. Vaca gift shop. Very annoying. But we did get rid of, they had a site that cloned all of my videos and looked exactly like mine. And then they would hang out on lives, and when I would shut down my lives, they would reach out to people that were on the live and say, hey, it's Kyle from the live. Fucking assholes. So I think I got to turn the air conditioner back on. It's getting a little moist in here, if you know what I mean. Most interesting AI stocks. How's the wine? It's okay. It's called Seven Deadly Zins. So I suppose it's seven Zinfandels. It's fine. I'm not too sophisticated when it comes to wine, so it's not awful. Like I said, I have a degree in acting, so I can't tell you what stocks to pay attention to. I'll just tell you things that I think are interesting right now. And some of these are private companies, so you can't even buy stocks anyway. I think Nvidia's fascinating. I mean, I don't think their stock is at a discount. They just hit $1 trillion market cap. And I forget, they had 101% year over year earnings. So that's interesting. Nvidia seems to have successfully cornered the fucking market on AI chips. They were doing game chips, and then the crypto bros figured out it was good for doing blockchain shit, and then they were doing all that. And I think all the other chip manufacturers are just like, fuck it, and they just backed out. And then you know, AI was like, oh, this is really good for AI stuff. And what happened when the Transformer came out, that Google invented in 2017, it became clear that the more data you threw at these tools and the more GPUs you threw at them, the better they got. So companies like OpenAI just said, fuck it, let's get as many GPUs as we can and throw as much data at as we can. That's why they cut a deal with Microsoft, because they have racks and racks of servers with these big GPUs in them. And so they're interesting. About a week ago, people were coming in the thing going, well, you think OpenAI is going bankrupt? There was an article saying they're going bankrupt. They're spending $700,000 a day. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. But no, I don't think they're going bankrupt. Well, they just came out with an earnings report that they just hit $1 billion annual run rate for revenue. Billion. $700,000 a day is about $250 million in expenses. $1 billion in revenue. I think they're going to be okay. Now, they're probably plowing a lot of that into other shit like GPT-5 and dealing with lawsuits and trying to cut deals with the New York Times so they don't get their ass sued by them after Google just cut a $100 million deal with the New York Times. You know, there's stuff going on. So it's not like they're rolling in cash over there, but $1 billion run rate ain't bad for a company that's spending $250 million a year. All right. Let's see. Brefaki.com. befakeai.com. All right, I'll go look. Matthew Craig. I'll bite. Let's go look. Befake. Is this some deepfake AI.com? Is this some deep fake sort of thing? Yeah.
Be honest, we're not always our creative best, and not every moment is ready to share. So give your reality an AI lift. Befake is an effortless and fun introduction to AI that allows you to
Yeah, it's like Lensa, and it's like that new one that people are doing headshots with, where you upload your photos. So it's basically doing like a LoRa model in Stable Diffusion. That's probably what it's built on. They've got some sort of, Dream Booth like tech on the back end that's training it how to do that. That's pretty cool. There's going to be a ton of those. I'm assuming the wine is good. It's not bad. Costco. Oh, dang it, Jim. TikTok just jumped me to the bottom. Oh, you TikTok. Why you IATA? Yes, yeah, friggum, rock'em, socko. Let's see. If you're the first time here, put 1 in the comments if you've been here before. 2, and irregulars put 3. Oh, cool. I like that, Matthew Craig. This stuff reminds me. Oh, okay, we did that before. Now I went too far back. AI can create the metaverse. What did I do with Chat Coder? How's the wine? I assume the wine is good. Costco on the weekend, Kyle. What's wrong with you? I'm an idiot. You know that. I'm not the smartest feller. You know, when I go to the Costco, I like going to the Costco. We go there. I take I got the Ford Flex. It's like a hearse, but more like a station wagon. It's like a cross between station wagon and a hearse. So take the Ford Flex, and I go there. Because, when you need 16 jars of 43-pound peanut butter, you go to Costco, right? And then I go there. But then every now and again, I just walking down the aisle. I'm like, yeah, I need a 762-piece wrench set. Have you ever been to Costco and not spent $400? That place is just fucking wrong. Any AI tool that can help me learning IT networking? Yes, all of them. All of them. ChatGPT is good at it. You might want to go to bard.google.com because it's connected to the internet. It's also pretty good at coding. And just tell it that you want to learn You want to learn networking, IT networking. And especially the ones that are connected to the internet. Bard, Bing, and Pi.ai. So Bing and Pi are also connected to the internet. So what you can do with those is you can say, hey, go find the latest, an article, a blog post, or documentation on IT networking. Have it design you a custom course. Tell it what you know. Tell it what you don't know. Tell it that you're looking for resources. It might also be interesting to go to perplexity.ai and see what it can find. Just go to these things and start asking them. What will actually kind of help you get your head around how these things work. Go to prompts.chat. That will talk to you. This is just a document that's a kind of a primer on how to talk to these large language models. Most of that document is telling it to act like a certain kind of persona. So act like a screenwriter, act like a consultant, act like an IT professional, right? An IT networking specialist. And when you tell it to do that, it gets better at doing that kind of stuff. So go there and kind of learn how these things work, and basically just tell it what you're trying to learn and have it create a custom curriculum for you. Do you want to learn it in 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 days? How deep do you want to go? Do you want to specialize in any area of it? Do you not even know what's possible? Have it tell you what's possible and say, oh, I'm interested in this and I'm interested in that. Tell it, are you really good at project management, or are you good at ideation, or are you good at, sitting there and sort of knocking out just, technical, things, technical drudgery. Some people are really good at that. If you're good at that, tell this thing that and say, what jobs within that would I be good at? And it will tell you, and then design a course for you to do it. So, any good InVideo.io competitors? They only give me 10 minutes for free per week. All the video tools are really expensive. So let me go look at InVideo. I haven't played with it. InVideo.io. Is that right? Create publish-worthy videos. Oh, this is the one that does like stock video assembly. You write the script and then it cuts together all the stock video stuff. There's video. All these things are expensive. There's video, VIDYO. There's Descript, DESCRIPT, Descript. Descript AI. What's the URL? Descript.com. Again, what I would do, because I'm not following this stuff on a day-to-day basis, I would go to futurepedia.io and look up their video tools. They're decently well organized, and I guarantee you there's 20 or 30 tools out there. From what I can gather, all of the video tools are decently expensive right now, because I think the compute time, if you figure what they're doing is some version of 30 or 60 frames a second, and if they're generating it, even if they're just editing it, it's probably decently pricey from an API standpoint. But go to futurepedia.io and that'll help. All right, hang on. I got to go turn on the air. I'll be right back. Your live is different than your videos. That's because I'm live. Yeah, my videos are like, hey, it's Kyle Shannon with the AI Learning Lab. Here's some shit I learned, and I try to package it in a tight little thing. Here I'm just rambling. This is just more like a conversation. I'm figuring these lives out kind of on the fly, and what I want it to be, what the community wants it to be, where the value is. So yeah, sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're serious, sometimes I don't think they're ever serious, but sometimes I get a little soapboxy. I get on my soapbox and I just go nuts. I go mwah. So yeah, I could probably act more like an idiot on my videos, but I don't know. It's just they started as a different thing. You see the deep fake DeSantis. Yikes AI. I have not seen it. DeSantis campaign uses deep fake images to attack Trump. Watch deep fake of Ron DeSantis as Michael Scott, that one. Saying leadership is about to fake.
Leadership is about fooling the voters. It's about book deals and globalism. Leadership is about getting ahead, no matter who you stab in the back. In my America...
Yeah, I mean, it sounds very monotone. It sounds very synthesized. Here's the thing. That's kind of a crappy deep fake, but they're going to get better and better and better. I think the 24 election is going to be absolute insanity with deep fakes and misinformation. So I think we are just scratching the surface in terms of what's coming. It's gonna be something else. It's gonna be something else special. It's gonna be something else special. Is there currently an AI tool that can create a metaverse? We did that one. Just try to buy a t-shirt by clicking on the laptop in the little window. Okay. So for any irregulars here, I created 3 products, and they're in a TikTok shop. They're in the TikTok shop here. It's this graphic. It's that graphic. I'm not weird. I'm irregular. So the people that are regulars here, they've dubbed themselves the irregulars. So I turned that into a T-shirt. So there's a women's T-shirt, a men's T-shirt, and then a tote bag. You can go check them out. I just got it set up, so I assume it works. I hope it works. I'm not sure if it works. So please let me know. Yeah. So we'll keep going. All right. Blink AI video editing. Good. Glad you're helping each other because I don't know those tools very well. What AI can create an app? Well, there are a lot. I would go again. I'll point you to futurepedia.io. There's a lot of app building tools. It depends what you want to do. There are some that build site maps and UI. There are other things that build UX and some code. There are some that do code. There are some that purport to do it all. I think a lot of them are kind of janky. Zapier has AI built into it, so you can make Zapier automations by just describing them, and it will put together an automation for you. You still have to, put in your information for all the calls. And Zapier also has a new beta of something called interfaces, where you can create, like a website application. Bubble.io is kind of like Zapier, and you can make apps with it, but Bubble.io is complicated enough that you're almost doing programming. So I assume what you're looking for is something that you can just say, hey, I want an app that does X, Y, Z. From what I've seen, all of those things right now are not quite ready for prime time. So I'd go to futurepedia.io, look up app development or programming, and just go start playing. See if any of them are any good. A lot of those tools are super sexy for the demo, and you can get something close. But then when you try to actually build something functional for yourself, they kind of fall on their face because it's complicated to do good apps. But keep exploring those, and if anyone finds anything good that's a good AI text to application builder, let me know, because that's an area that I'm interested in as well. Stable video, new generative AI, text to video. Stable video. Is it from Stability? Matthew Craig bringing the good stuff. Stable video. The decoder. This new paper. Stable Video is a research project exploring generative AI to edit existing videos frame by frame rather than generating videos from scratch. Okay. Interesting. So it looks like in this example they have a boat and they can change the boat and it sort of modifies objects within a video, if that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, I've seen that before, but I've not played with that one. I'm like useless tonight. Everything everyone's asking me, like, I don't know. You're just gonna have to go research that on your own. Just go to the internet. Just go to the internet, and it'll be there on the internet somewhere. Riverside.fm transcriptions, very cool. Is there a long wait for Code Llama 2? No, there's no wait. It's open source and free right now. Go play, Abdul. And if you want to just go play with it for free without having to install anything, go to labs.perplexity.ai. And that's perplexity.ai. They're hosting Llama 2 and Code Llama. So you can just go there right now and play for free. Now, if you want to install it and do all that sort of stuff, you'll do that on your own. Do you know AI is just an API call 95% of the time? I do know that, Darky Squid. That's what we call so most of Futurepedia.io is what I call wrapper apps, which are basically just what you said. It's someone's created a clever prompt and they, dump it off to a Stability AI call or an open AI call. Yeah, most of them are that. It doesn't mean they're not of value, right? It doesn't mean they're not of value. If someone's figured out an interesting way to fine-tune the model to give you really good legal analysis of terms of service documents, and you want to pay $5 a month for that or $10 a month for that, more power to you. But yeah, a lot of the apps that are out right now, this is very, 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 very similar to the early days of the World Wide Web, where a new kind of piece of technology would come out, people would pounce on it, they'd make little micro websites to do certain things, and then they'd try to charge a lot of money for them, and then some real company would come along and that would just become a feature of their software. It's going to be the same shit with this stuff. So yeah, that's very much what a lot of these things are right now. So and that's why it's one of the reasons that I have these things on screen for most of my lives. Like, these are the base models, right? ChatGPT, Claude, Bard, Bing, Perplexity, Pi. Perplexity's, I think they're doing open AI calls, but they're doing some interesting stuff with research and citations. But Pi is Inflection. Poe's got their own model, but they're using other people's models. So yeah, most of the stuff I have here is kind of core stuff, and that's why I have them here. I think this early in the industry, it's important to learn to use these base models rather than just sort of a point-and-click tool that someone pre-prompted something for you. That was cool. Solid content. Thanks for the education. You're welcome, Ron. Mage.space text-to-image with SDXL. Very cool. Yeah, I've seen that before. What AI was that? The AI with the images was skybox.blockadelabs.com. Dystopian hellscape. What did I stumble upon? Cam Catkin. Cam Catkin here. Weather on the sevens. I'm Cam Catkin. All right. You're a funny guy, Kyle. Thank you very much. Gurmail Sing Blockade. Add negative prompts. What app or website is that? That was Blockade Labs. Offer to help. Okay. Let's see. What is the difference between embedding and fine-tuning on OpenAI? You asked this the other night, Tech Audit TV. So fine-tuning is just if you... Okay. So when you come to... Let me just make sure I don't have this turned on right now. I do have it turned on. Save. Okay, so when you come to ChatGPT and you type in I want to know how to do IT networking. It says, certainly, networking is a broad topic. It can refer to both computer networking and social professional networking. Then it explains the stuff. So it's generally helpful. It's generally nice. And if I say, you misunderstood, I meant networking like flying a spaceship. We'll see if it apologizes. I apologize. I misunderstood. It sounds like you're interested in learning about the skills and knowledge required to operate and navigate a spaceship in a spacefaring context. So ChatGPT is fine-tuned to be helpful. And so if you tell it got something wrong, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, and it'll try to get it right, and it'll try to do that. Within ChatGPT, they have now added this new thing called custom instructions. And so you can fine-tune ChatGPT to act like whatever you want it to act like. And it sounds like fireworks are going off here, I hope. Oh, and I lost my double camera. That was weird. Okay, I'll get it back. So what I'm going to say is... you're an overbearing, pompous ass who uses large words that even you don't understand as a way to intimidate those that you talk to, period. Okay? So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna say, whenever anyone asks you anything, I want you to use an obscure literary reference to belittle their idea and then redirect the conversation to talk about yourself. All right. And so I'm going to save that. So what I've just done is I've just fine-tuned ChatGPT to be a pompous ass. So I'm going to say, I want to learn about computer networking. A commendable aspiration, though one wonders if you're prepared to traverse the labyrinthian corridors of networking intricacies. It brings to mind the words of T.S. Eliot, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." But I digress. As for computer networking, the vast expanse of protocols, architectures, and topologies awaits your inquisitive mind. Now, speaking of intellectual pursuits, have you ever pondered the allegorical significance of the protagonist's journey in James Joyce's Ulysses? It's a rather captivating subject, much like the networks that interconnect our digital realms, right? So I fine-tuned ChatGPT to be a pompous ass. That's fine-tuning. Hang on. How do I get this back? Oh, I know how to get it back. I go Enhance. Yes, dual camera. Do that. Boom! There I am. Yay! Hi! Hi! Hey! Hi, Kyle! Hi, Kyle! Hi, Kyle! Oh, they killed Kenny! Hi, Kyle! Kyle! What are you doing, Kyle? Embedding is where you take lots of data and you essentially, the simplest way to put it is you GPTize it. You vectorize it. So you take some data, you embed it, which turns it into... It puts the words into semantic clusters in a vector space. There you go. It just turns them into math. You know, life's tough. It's tougher when you're stupid. I'm totally Pavlov's dog. So think of embedding as kind of larger scale. It's not really fine-tuning. It's a different thing. Embedding is what's going to happen when ChatGPT and all these companies, Microsoft and Google, make it really easy to take your company's data and make it GPTable. That's embedding, where you're getting large data sets into this crazy ass vector space that makes all this stuff possible. So I hope that helps. And then you just learned about custom instructions in ChatGPT. And you can make it a pompous ass, or you could make it a coach, life coach. Life's tough. Tougher when you're stupid. Someone give me 2 hats in a row so I could finish. Life's tough. Tougher when you're stupid. Thank you, Steve-O. See now, y'all are just picking on me now. You just break your Thank you though for the hats. The hats were nice. They were swell. They were very nice. I like taters. Why? Thank you. All right. Let's see. Irregulars are up to 14,800 on the likes. Dystopia is like Twilight Zone parallel world when I click too fast on the iPhone mini. Code interpreter is data analytics now. Yeah, exactly, Beth. They when they first came out with code interpreter, I'm like, this is a remarkable piece of technology and it's a horrible name. And so they fixed it, which is good. It's now advanced data analytics. It doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but it at least says what it is. You know, I would have called it data analyst in a box, but, you know, that's probably politically incorrect or something. I'm a data analyst. You're not going to put me in a box. Why would you say that? I feel offended. I'm triggered. Can you explain, like I'm 5, how ChatGPT answers your prompt versus a Google search? Yes, Bob, I can. I have a chart. You want to do charts and graphs? I can explain exactly how it works. Well, I can explain my understanding of how it works. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a data scientist. I'm a business guy that likes geeking out on new technologies. I think it's really important for me to understand how these things work because I want to understand what they're good at, what they're not good at. I want to understand why they lie. I know now why they lie because I understand how it works. So I'm going to do it in 2 ways. I'm going to explain it first, just how it's different. And then I'm going to show you actually how it works, which I find mind-blowing. When you see what these things do, and then you actually understand how they're doing what they're doing, it's fucking more remarkable that they do what they do. That anyone figured this out in the first place. So Google has indexed all of the internet, right? They've got these bots that go out and they say, this website's about this, that, and the other, right? And then there's this thing called search engine optimization where you can trick the bots to rank your things. And so when you search for something in Google, they want you to give a nice, concise, just tell us just the facts. What do you want? I want to find out about minimalist running shoes. And then it basically goes into its index and it says, based on, all of this knowledge that I have, here's a list of links. What these things do is they've been trained on as much of the public internet that, in the case of ChatGPT, OpenAI could get their hands on. So think, I don't know, whatever, 80% of the public internet for the past 80 years. It might not be that high, it might be higher, but just a massive amount of public web pages and public data sources. We're trained into them. And the way they do is they break all of those things down and all of the words get grouped into these semantic clusters. So you might have the word dog and it lives in one area where it means a pet and it lives in another area where it means like the guy that did his girl wrong is a dog, right? And so when you type your prompt, it creates a probability weighting of what the next word should be. And so it's writing the GPT in ChatGPT, the G stands for generative. So it's actually generating original content one word at a time based on probability. So when you ask it to write you an original country song, it's actually writing you an original country song. Live video violation. You have not been promoting... Wait. Hang on. So I'm just learning this stuff. You have not been promoting products for a while during your live. We encourage you to introduce and promote linked products in your live to keep the audience engaged and interested. All right, well, if I have to do that, then I'll probably turn this shit off. Confirm. Okay. I have a store. If you click on it, I got stuff you can buy. It's T-shirts that say, "I'm not weird, I'm irregular." There, TikTok. Hope that helps. Capitalism. So one of the misconceptions about large language models is that they're copying and pasting content from different documents and presenting that to you. It's not how it works. So I'm going to actually show you how it works. It's fascinating, I think. What's going on here? Do I not have? No, I don't. Okay. Okay, so how ChatGPT works. Okay, you can see that, right? Okay, so like I said, GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer. Generative means it's generating stuff. Pre-trained means it's been pre-trained on all the internet. You don't need to bring your own data. And transformer is the technology that allows it to be trained on massive data sets. So Google invented the transformer, and everyone else is using it. We're all the beneficiaries of that technology. If you sometimes will hear the term LLM, large language model, that's also what these things are called. I guess GPT is the name for it, but large language model is the category. And it's basically a large language model. They're getting all the words and all the different meanings, and they're making a model out of that. You will sometimes hear people talk about the latent space. And so the latent space is a mathematical space. So what I've got here is a dramatically oversimplified version of visualization of the latent space. This is just a two-dimensional graph of different clusters. All these dots represent a vector, and a vector is a string of numbers that place that vector in a particular space on this XY coordinate. The real vector spaces are like 1,000 dimensions. This is 2 dimensions. So I can't quite get my head around what 1,000 dimensional vector space might look like, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's more complicated than any of us can understand. So here's a 2-dimensional version. Each little dot represents a number, a series of numbers that give it a point in space. And then these clusters are semantic clusters. So you might have, different versions of the word dog living in these, different clusters. And this is all based on, it looks at all these documents and it figures out the meaning of words as they relate to other words in all these different documents. So that's what's sitting up in the ether somewhere. And then the way these large language models work is that based on your prompts, the large language model predicts the next word that it should respond with, and it does that over and over and over again. So I'm going to do a really simple example. If the prompt is, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy blank, we as humans likely know that word is dog, right? It doesn't know that. All it knows is, based on what you type there's some mathematical probability that somewhere in this vector space, some of these vectors have a higher probability of others in being the right word. So, these little dots might all be animals, right? And so within those vectors, there's one of those vectors that has the highest probability. And if you look at what that actually is, it's actually just this long string of numbers that is its point in vector space. And then that long string of numbers is associated with the word dog. And then the large language model puts the word dog into that sentence. And so when you see large language models writing you, a full letter of recommendation, when you say, could you write me a letter of recommendation for this job that I want to help my friend get? And it goes, it's doing it essentially one word at a time with mathematical probability. It has zero comprehension of what it wrote. And this is one of the reasons people get confused by this, because when it writes, it looks like it's a sentient being, but it's got the sentience of a calculator, right? It's just doing this probability game. And so that's one of the reasons it's confusing. This is also one of the reasons that it does what's called hallucinating. Why does it lie to you all the time? Because it's writing, these probability sequences one after another after another. It doesn't actually know what's in there. And so it'll say, it'll write an article and you're like, great, write me some citations and links to that. And it'll go, sure, it wants to please you. So it writes citations. They may not actually exist because it's doing it one word at a time. And that's why sometimes it's just got stuff that doesn't resemble reality. The other thing that's important to know about this latent space, this vector space, one of the reasons that telling ChatGPT to act like a certain thing works, right? If you tell ChatGPT, I want you to act like a Stanford mathematics professor, is what effectively ends up happening is if, this sort of semantic space right here is where, Stanford mathematics professor's words are, it'll kind of filter out all the other shit. So, out here might be students that did the math problem wrong, and reporters who wrote about the math problem and described it out here, but it's really in here where the math professor's work is. So if you say, I want you to act like a Stanford professor and I want you to help me understand this problem, it'll do it better if it's got a narrower semantic space that it's querying, basically. So that was a lot. I know. Listen, it was a lot. It was a lot for me. It's a lot. It's a lot. I know. This stuff is. I mean, not for nothing, but is it not like fucking miraculous that someone figured out how to do that? And I mean, it's been decades in the planning, right? Like, people have been figuring this out for a while. The transformer was invented in 2017. And, they did GPT-1 first, and then they did GPT-2, and then they did GPT-3. And that was the one that made, a little bit of headlines that this thing is starting to act like a powerful tool. And then it was kind of a year and a half after that, they started getting their shit together, and GPT 3.5 came out, and then ChatGPT came out, or, something in that neighborhood. So the thing that we see right now that we're like, oh, this is this brand new thing, they've actually been figuring out for a while. But I just find it mind-blowing that that's what's happening. And then what it does just feels like fucking magic. It's just like magic. So I hope that helps, Bob. Does that help? Does that answer? Here's the deal. That took me a long time. I'm more than 99 messages behind. I'm going to jump to the bottom. I'm probably going to skip a bunch of questions right after Bob Hamilton's question about how does this shit work? So I'm going to just jump to the bottom and pick a random spot here and start answering questions again. Sharebear, tomorrow 9 p.m. sharp, we're going to hit you with hats. Giddy up. Oh, cool. Oh, that's why you had all the hats. Okay, I get it. I see what's happening now. I'm understanding. Blockade Labs wants $576 a year billed annually for unlimited use. And it's, in my opinion, it's not ready for prime time yet. So my advice on all of these tools, all of them, not that one, hang on. Whether it's OpenAI or Claude or Bard or all of them, or Blockade Labs or Runway ML, I don't know if it's my advice. This is what I'm doing. You do it. You do you. I'm not going to subscribe to anything annually for at least 18 months. Because all of this shit is going to be made obsolete by something else within 3 months, 6 months. So you're gonna lock in for a year for the latest state-of-the-art thing, and then Google's going to come out with a free tool that kicks the shit out of the thing that you just paid for a year for. And it's going to make you cranky. So just go month to month for now. Yeah, you're not going to save the 20% or the 10% by doing the annual thing, but just, again, janky pieces of shit. They're all janky pieces of shit until further notice. And that just means there's just too much is changing too fast to buy annual subscriptions right now. Apps were a UX improvement to websites. Bot personal LLMs will improve them both, I predict. I agree with that. Apps were a UX improvement to websites. Yeah, well, the web was a UX improvement to the internet when it was command line, right? And then apps are improvements to just raw hyperlinks, yes. And then ChatGPT was a UX improvement to command line machine learning stuff. And then as these tools get more sophisticated, I think you're absolutely right, Kavruno. I think it's going to be like this. I think it's going to be you've got all your complicated application layers down here. You've got Salesforce and Slack and just all these fucking overly complicated pieces of shit software. I'm sorry, very professional, useful software that's completely worth paying for. But it's overly complicated, and these large language models are just going to simplify all that, right? It's going to be natural language. I want to update this in Salesforce. It goes and figures it out. I want to notify these 3 different Slack servers this message in the appropriate channels, and it'll figure out what the appropriate channels are. So yeah, totally agree. I think that's going to be one of the initial killer apps for these things. Is just simplification of the overly complicated. I should be working on a password app, but Kyle's too funny, so I'll keep the endorphins flowing. Sorry, Winston. Yeah, I wouldn't be working on high security application development while I'm acting like an idiot. You'll just type in there, you can make money with ChatGPT. Wait, what? That's not in the code. What am I doing?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
Just saw the t-shirts, pretty cool looking. Those t-shirts, by the way, this graphic was done with ideogram.ai. It can. Oh, Winston, thank you so much for the coinage. Sorry for screwing up your productivity. Just to be sure that you're the real one. Wow. Is it TikTok or is it Big Brother? Oh, TikTok is totally Big Brother. They've got their little words. They know everything we're saying, everything we're doing. They're like, you enabled the store and you're not here talking about your products 24/7. That's how we designed it, and that's what we want you to do. So if you don't do that, we're going to shut you down. So I will shut that fucking store off if that's the rule. You hear that, TikTok? You got Gen X on the line. Don't screw with this. We got a good thing going here. Was that an impromptu ad? I don't know. Maybe. Did I do an ad? You can make money with ChatGPT. That's not impromptu, but it started as an impromptu thing. Because I just, like, when I first started doing these lives, people, were asking me, how do I make money with this stuff? And it's just those TikTok channels that have those people on there that say that, You can make money in real estate. You can make money you can make money with ChatGPT. Me. That's what TikTok wants me to turn this channel into. Get your AI Learning Lab t-shirts now. No. Not gonna happen. Not going to happen. Not gonna da. Not gonna da. Not gonna da. Not gonna da da ga. Not gonna da. Not gonna da ga. Not gonna da. Appy Pie for anyone who wants to create an app with your ideas. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've heard of that one before. I think I played with it a while ago. Let me go look at it again. Appy Pie. Appy Pie, no-code development platform. The challenge with no-code development platforms, create your app. If I have to fucking sign up for this before I can create my app, App builder that builds, enter your business name. All right, we'll do Storyvine Inc. Choose the business category. This is feeling like marketing. All right, let's say business. Pick a color scheme you like. We'll go Deep Ocean, Mac, iOS. To test your app, you must create an account first. All right, this looks like the right thing. So whoever was asking for an app builder before, like this, I do remember going through this and playing with it before. So it's going to make me, I think I even signed up for Google with this one. Hang on, let me see if I did. $10 million happy clients. Well, 10 million people signed up. All right, it's not letting me in. Anyway, yeah, that one's worth exploring. Bop, bop. All right, let's see. What do we want to do? The multiverse. Yay, confetti. It's not that complicated. Pate, welcome back, sir. Pate Motter. By the way, great name, Pate Motter. Pate, for those of you in the thing that are wondering what my qualifications are, I have none. Pate does. Pate works at Google. Pate's got an actual PhD. I just play a PhD on TikTok. I don't even play a PhD. I'm just a dude trying to figure this shit. Here's the deal. Here's the actual real deal. I am trying to figure this stuff out just like you are. And because I've kind of been through one of these cycles before with the World Wide Web, I started one of the early digital agencies in the mid-90s. I know the opportunity that's sitting here. This shit's way more profound than the World Wide Web was. And that changed almost everything. So this channel is about just trying to fucking figure it out. And that's really what it's about right now. So the inflection point, in my opinion, is November 30th, 2022 is the day that ChatGPT launches. And that's the day that, there was a diverging in the roads, right? On one side are all the technologists and the engineers and the researchers and the PhDs who have spent the past 3 or 4 or 5 or 7 decades building all of the infrastructure that has allowed us from this day forward to take these tools and incorporate them into our businesses and into our lives and do all this remarkable shit as individuals and as businesses without having to have a Fortune 500, IT budget and tech budget, right? We can just incorporate this shit into Slack using Zapier, or we can just go to ChatGPT and have it write us some shit. Like, we're in this remarkable time in history. The challenge is these tools are so profoundly powerful, none of us, zero of us, from the research scientists to the brightest minds in business, no one knows how these things are going to impact us moving forward. No one. That's what we're trying to figure out. And so the only way I know to do that is to get your hands dirty. It's impossible to describe these things to someone. But the minute you show it to them and they have their Kevin McAllister moment, this moment, then they go, oh shit, this is something different. I need to learn this. Yeah, you do. We do. We all do. So that's what this channel's about. Togas, writing in French. Who will guard the guards themselves? Who will also guard the guards themselves? I don't know who's going to guard the guards. I mean, now that Meta has gone on ahead and dumped open source Llama on us, no one's guarding them. I think your question's a valid one if you're talking about, Google and OpenAI and Microsoft and Inflection and Cohere and, the companies that are creating guardhouses. But now this shit's open sourced, so no one's guarding the open source. So, I don't know. And you may ask, what are the implications of that, Kyle? Well, they're profoundly good and profoundly bad. Although I would argue that the large language models that are out there right now, as powerful as they are, we ain't seen nothing yet. I was listening to an interview with Sam Altman the other day, and it was from a couple of months ago, and he said, "Oh, there's some shit at OpenAI we will never release." It's like, yikes. In the language hyperspace, yes, that's correct. Like when they show electronic pulses traveling through the brain. Yep, that's the best explanation I've heard. Thank you. I thank you. I appreciate that. It's just maths and probabilities. Exactly. That's the thing that's so remarkable about this, right? The Arthur C. Clarke quote of any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. The fact that I understand how that large language model works is so completely distinct from what they actually do. They're fucking magic. I'm sorry. It's magic. It's fucking magic. All right. That's not entirely that's not entirely true. They use beam search most of the time. So I assume beam search is, Pate, is what you're talking about, they're not doing one word at a time, they're doing chunks of words? I think that might be what you're talking about. This is artificial intelligence. Thelonious, yes. Where multiple words are being considered at one time for multiple token slots at some distance. Yeah. So yeah, I know. I just try to simplify it. Not all of them are doing the beam search stuff, but it sounds like maybe they are now. When I put that thing together, I think that was mostly accurate. But I've heard that as well, that they're doing clusters of words at a time. But point is still the same, where it's a mathematical probability of that cluster of words rather than that single word. It's still fucking remarkable. Kyle, then wouldn't all the letters of recommendation be identical as each word triggers the next? No, because of a thing called temperature. So, Dr. J, so if you ever play in the playground, there's a thing called temperature that you can slide between. It used to be between 0 and 1. Now they changed it to 0 and 2 for some unknown fucking reason. Where if it's all the way up to like 1 or 2, then it's going to be really creative. It effectively throws some randomization in there. If it's down at 0, it makes it more precise. So if you move it all the way to 0, you can get it to consistently answer things the same way. But the default for ChatGPT, I think, was like a 0.6 out of 1. So it's sort of just over, halfway between not creative and fully creative. So it will do some variations. Then it picks the best overall path, so it can do groups of words, not just one token at a time. Thank you for clarifying that, Pate. Which app should I use for what? Advising me not to use... Okay, you're talking to each other. That's cool. 9:15 in Denver, and it is now 9:32. I'm not so far behind. I am 99 plus messages behind. So maybe I'll jump down. Are all or most LLMs use math models to find single or clusters of data based on the query? Is that a question? All or most LLMs use math models to find single or cluster of data based on a query. I think that's a statement. Yeah, that's right. That sounds right. Oh, let's see. TikTok just jumped me to the bottom, probably because I'm not selling enough. You can make money with ChatGPT. You can make money with selling T-shirts in the TikTok shop. Oh, good Lord. Oh, who's that? Hey, Kyle and Irregulars. Hey, Major Gift Fundraising. What's happening? I'm going to just go back and grab a question or two. Can you share the slides? I don't know where I can share them. So that explanation that I gave of how the large language model works, that exists. I think it's the second most recent video I did. Is a Champy wants you to know. He's protecting us. The second to last video I did a TikTok video in my channel that uses that slide. Oh no, it doesn't use that slide. Never mind. I use a slide like that for images. I'll tell you what I'll do. I can put that slide in Discord. So, hang on. So if you go here, the salon.ai. So this is a group I started called the AI Salon. And we've got a Discord. So if you go there, we have every other week we have a meetup, and we meet in person here in Denver, and we meet online. And then we also have a Discord, and I've created a private channel for the irregulars, for people from this channel. So I can post those slides in the Discord there. So if you go sign up there and just ping me that you want those slides, I'll get them to you. Or just reach out to me directly. My contact information's in my profile. So you can just reach out and I'll send you the slides. I'm happy to do that. 22,000. We're up to 30,000 now. This Sayers. Why can't GPT fact check itself? So there are companies right now looking to do that. So Perplexity.ai doesn't quite check itself, but it does do citations. So it's doing some weird combination of like a large language model search and a web search, and then putting its citations in there. I don't know which one it's doing first. It's sort of doing that. The logic that you're talking about, this Sayers is, it makes perfect sense, right? Like, have ChatGPT generate an answer, then check that answer against reality, and if anything's wrong, like the citations are bullshit, fix them, right? When I say that these tools are janky pieces of shit, that's exactly the kind of stuff I'm talking about. It doesn't mean you shouldn't use them. It means you should understand where the limitations are on these things, right? Because they're janky pieces of shit and they don't do things like fact check themselves, you need to know that. So there's a pretty famous event that happened where a lawyer had ChatGPT write a legal brief, and he handed it to a fucking judge without proofreading it. And the judge looked at all the legal citations and said, these do not exist. What are you doing? And the lawyer looked like an idiot. That's not on ChatGPT. That's on the lawyer thinking he could get one over on the system or whatever. He was having a bad day. But it says to me that he didn't really understand the tools, right? And he didn't understand where the boundaries are. So it's super important right now, because we're so early, that you don't just say, how do I use ChatGPT to make money? You can make money with ChatGPT. You actually learn what these things are, how they work, the things they do that are fucking brilliant. I mean, there's things that these things do that just blow my fucking mind. And then there's other things that they do that you're like, they couldn't have fucking solved that? Do you know that ChatGPT, this is mind-blowing to me. It's been out for 10 months now? Yeah. We're in September. Came out November 30th. 9 months. You cannot search your prompt history in ChatGPT. You can in the app, the iPhone app, you can search your prompt history. In the web app, you can't. Are you fucking kidding me? I've been prompting this thing for 9 months, and if I want to find the thing where I made a tweet thread, I can't fucking search for that? So, yeah, these things are all... And I love ChatGPT. I think it's, I'm like, I think Sam Altman's a really interesting CEO, a really interesting dude, actually thoughtful, understands the implications of what he's doing. And if I met him at a conference, I'd say, Sam, when you bring in search to the prompt library there, buddy, couldn't you throw a junior engineer on that? I mean, it exists in the app. We know how to do search. Coffee makes me chatty too. I appreciate the explanation, as I am just a nurse. So listen, Debbie, here's the deal. First of all, just a nurse. Thank you for what you do. Holy crap. Just knowing what I know about the hospital system right now and how understaffed they are. Like, really thank you for what you do. Something that's really, really important right now is, I talked before about that inflection point of November 30th. Before November 30th, 2022, it was all about the geeks and the researchers and the scientists. And after it, it's about the rest of us. Don't apologize at all for wherever you are on the learning curve of this stuff. The good news is that thanks to ChatGPT and tools like it, you don't have to be a data scientist to use these remarkable tools. Like, we're in an amazing time in history. What you do need to do is be able to think critically, like, what's the problem I'm trying to solve? And can I get these tools to help me solve that problem? The answer is actually probably yes. You don't have to write an application. You don't have to use it to write code. You don't have to do all the fancy shit. You don't have to do automations. You might just say, hey, I'm going to take the PDF of our nursing schedule and I'm going to pop it into this thing inside ChatGPT called Advanced Data Analytics, even though you might not be a data analyst person, like I'm also not. And I'm going to have it help me come up with a better way to, organize the nursing schedules. Because that's a problem you need to solve. Start with the problem. Start with the thing you're trying to do. And then you can say, how can these things help? Rather than saying, you need to become expert at AI or expert at ChatGPT or expert at prompting. No. Will it benefit you if you get better and better at this shit? Sure. But you don't have to start with that. Don't put that burden on yourself. These are tools. And this is, so I make the joke about these people, right?
You can make money with ChatGPT.
And here's why I make fun of them. How you make money with ChatGPT is identical to how you make money with Photoshop and how you make money with a real estate education program and how you make money with a shovel. These are tools. You're not making money with ChatGPT. You're making money by solving a problem that someone else is willing to pay for. And you just happen to be using these tools to do it. And that's the real scary thing about these, is that they're so sexy that it's really easy to get hoodwinked into thinking you have to become expert at these things. No. Be expert at the shit you want to do and the stuff you want to solve. And then know enough about these things to go, oh, I think I could use ChatGPT to solve this part of this equation. Yeah, let me go talk to it and see. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, it gave me a new idea. Oh, it gave me a new idea. But you're still solving that problem, right? It almost has nothing to do with this. It has all to do with you. So anyway, that's why I get crazy about those fucking people, because they're perverting how we use technology. These are our tools. We get to use them how we want, not the other way around. The robots are not using us. We're using them. They're amplifying our abilities. So, anyway, thanks for what you do. And I'm glad that helped. Awesome answer. Thanks. Great, Bob. Cool. Very cool explanation. But what was the magical gift attack? I don't know. TikTok told me I had to talk about the store more. It said TikTok live violation. It's like, you've got a store and you weren't talking about it for the entire time you were talking. Whatever. Like I said, I'll turn that shit off. We'll figure out some other way to get merch into the world. I gave Bart a run, then went back to ChatGPT. Bing's version told me to stop asking how old the LLM was. See me now. So yeah, so Bing officially got kicked to the kids table. I moved Bard up to the top 3. This is really, for me, it's the top 2. But if I need a large language model connected to the internet, I'm now using Bard. Bing is really fucking annoying at this point. The safety guardrails on Bing are just, it's just bad. It's just bad. So I'm right there with you. ChatGPT, that's why ChatGPT is still on top. It's the best. Claude can do 100,000 tokens, so that's a 75,000 word context window, which is, sometimes you need that. So those top 2 are the biggies that I use. If I need something connected to the internet, I'll use Bard now. And for the most part, I just let Bing sail off into the sunset. It's at the kids' table with the other shit. Things move fast for that commitment to a single API. Yes, exactly. Any ideas why all the big AI's technologies seem to have become mainstream at the same time? Yeah. So Crypto Joe, Google invents this thing called the transformer in 2017. That allows for all of these companies to be able to train large language models, machine learning models, on massive data sets. Google in particular, Pate probably knows this better than I do. They invented the shit. They've got a lot of really powerful technology. They effectively mothballed it. They sort of put it off in a corner, I think, because they recognize that if they build a tool that answers questions, it fundamentally fucks with their business model. Their business model is predicated on you clicking on lots of links to get the answer. If they just give you the answer, you don't click on the links, and they don't make money. So they kind of set it off to the side. Meta effectively did the same thing. I don't think Apple had a big bet in the game. They're a hardware company. They sell they make their money primarily on hardware. Microsoft, when GPT-3 came out, Microsoft, I think they saw an opportunity, and they said, on seeing what GPT-3 did, as it goes, I think Sam Altman went over to the Microsoft CEO's house, and I think Gates was there. I basically, some folks at Microsoft saw what the fuck was going on with GPT-3, and I think Microsoft saw an opportunity here to maybe get relevant again in the search game. And so they made this big investment in OpenAI. As they were about to announce their first $1 billion investment, Sam Altman said, hey, we don't really have anything that we can point people to that's really easy to use. In the documentation of GPT-3, the developers' version of this thing, in the documentations were instructions for ChatGPT. No one had built it for like a year and a half. And so Sam Altman, I guess back in October, this time last year, said to his developers, hey, we're making this big announcement with Microsoft. You got 2 weeks. Why don't you just go build ChatGPT? And they did. And they launched it. And he assumed no one would give a shit because they didn't really give a shit with GPT-3. Like, developers thought it was cool and Microsoft thought it was cool and they were going to give him $1 billion. ChatGPT went from 0 users to 100 million users in 6 weeks. It got to 1 million users in 5 days. It was absolute fucking insanity. So what happened was this caused a red alert at Google that said, oh, fuck, we need to deal with this. I think it did a similar thing at Meta where Zuckerberg was like, okay, we got to pivot off the metaverse thing. That ship has sailed, even though we named the company Meta. Let's pivot away from that and over to AI. Apple accelerated things, like Amazon accelerated things. All of these companies like Inflection and Cohere and Anthropic is Claude, all had this stuff sitting in the wings. So they've been developing on this transformer model for like 6 years. But what happened was ChatGPT got so popular so fast that it forced everyone to go, fuck! And they just shoved all of their technology forward. So all of the technology that was sitting kind of in the ether off in the background, like, well, we'll take our time and we want to make sure that it's safe and we don't want to hurt people and ChatGPT does what it does and everyone fucking panics and throws all the technology out there, including Meta going, we're going to open source to the developer community Llama 1, but it's for research only. And then when Llama 2 came out, they're like, fuck it, here it is for commercial use. So there's now a incredibly powerful open source commercial LLM out there. Stability AI is doing the same thing. So the developer community is going batshit crazy on this stuff. The big technology companies are going batshit crazy on this stuff. Apple just said that they spent the bulk of their research budget, which is $24.6 billion a year. They spent the bulk of it on generative AI this year. So they're coming. So while it seemed like it materialized out of nothing, this was all being worked on in all these companies. But then the popularity of ChatGPT forced everyone's hand to say, we've got AI. Google's first meeting, the thing in Paris they did where they lost the demo phone, and it was pretty bad. But like basically what they said in that meeting was, we invented this stuff. We've got AI in everything, which they do. But they're on their heels because they weren't leading this conversation. Someone else was, and it was ChatGPT and Microsoft. And, you know, the CEO of Microsoft was fairly giddy that he was fucking with Google. I thought it was pretty funny. He basically said, I'll lose money on Bing chat, on, you know, GPT-4, for like even if I can get one user to come over from Google, like, I'll lose money on that thing. My ex didn't sign up for a year. It was made obsolete in 3 months. Yep, 6 months, exactly. How about investing in the one AI startup? I don't know it. I wouldn't. I'm not going to invest in anything right now. I don't think around this stuff. This is way too volatile. One AI, generative AI API for your product. So I guess this looks kind of like LangChain, commercial version of LangChain. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Things are moving too fast, and it's like one of the, I don't know if you saw, there was a paper that came out, or not a paper, it was like an internal memo from a Google employee that was like 4 months ago, was talking about, what time is it? Going on 10. It was talking about the title of the piece was "We Have No Moat," and it was basically talking about large language models and how the open source models are getting as good as or close to as good as the really expensive models that the big tech companies are building. And there's a similar sort of concern that any piece of technology that you build, any business that you build and launch, because of generative AI, someone else could knock it off in a weekend. Someone without technical chops could knock it off in a weekend. And so everyone right now is going to be scrambling to find what is their differentiator in the marketplace. And I don't know that it's going to be on software features. I think the software features are just going to become ubiquitous, where the interface is English language. I want software that does this, and it'll just make that software for you. Why would I need to pay someone to do that? Now, because the tools are janky pieces of shit right now, it doesn't do that right now. But the writing is on the wall that when they start incorporating these things together and overlapping them, and if Google's Gemini comes out and it is as sophisticated as it sounds like, it might be able to do things like interface and code and UX and marketing and right? Or it becomes the foundation for that. So I would be reticent to invest in anything right now, unless you're doing stuff kind of at the like the frontier model, the core research, the sort of underlying shit, where the big boys and girls are competing. Like, those are interesting things, because whoever wins that race is gonna, they're gonna have like infrastructure, right? They're gonna be selling the picks and shovels to the miners. All of these software applications are, I've got a mine. Let's go get some gold in the mine. So I can't fucking keep up with just even using this stuff, much less investing in it. What's the Midjourney prompt line battle? I don't know what that means, Togas. Write it in French. Maybe we can. Maybe I can translate it and it'll make sense. Time to do the store and link. Love kids saying it. I love turtles. I don't know what you're talking about, Micro.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think?
I like turtles.
All right, you're a great zombie. Good times here at the Waterfront Village, open for the next 11 days. So
All right, Jonathan. Some comments were filtered to protect the community's experience. Don't be jerks in comments. No. Stop it. Zip it. Hey. Zip it. Hey. Zip it. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you for the harus. Harus by another name would smell as sweet. Should have been terms of service for TikTok with the AI. Yeah, exactly. I actually don't want to know what's in the TikTok terms of service, but I'm sure my family doesn't belong to me anymore. Can some of my friends here please tell me when I can get Duet AI? So if you haven't seen it, so what Anne's talking about is Duet is Google's branding for their version of ChatGPT being rolled out into all of the Office products of theirs and Google Meet and all that sort of stuff. They're calling it Duet. They're saying it's generally available, but you have to go ask for it. So let me see where maybe it's an obvious place. Google Duet general availability. Now it will be available to all of its 10 million users. Google Workspace, now available, August 29th. Yeah, this is it. So go to workspace.google.com/blog, and then it's the article now available Duet AI for Google Workspace. And then somewhere in here, yeah, the second hyperlink in the first paragraph is get started now with a no-cost trial. So it's free initially, and then I think it's going to be $30 a month. With so many AI-powered applications out there, is there any room for any innovation? Holy crap, yes. Holy crap, yes. So here's the deal. What's your name? Tyrelius Zacharias. Okay, that's a cool name. I can't pronounce it, but it's super cool. Tyrelius Zacharias. I like it. Solid. 8.5 out of 10. Only because I can't pronounce it. This is probably more on me than you. So the innovation, the tools are going to do remarkable things. So there's so many places to innovate. One of the places to innovate is how are you using these core large language models? You could kind of go upstream, and you could say, hey, I want to train, these image recognition models on a particular kind of imaging, right? That's what's happening in healthcare, where they're training them on how to read x-rays and PET scans and things like that. You could build application layers on top of large language models. You could use something like Zapier if you're not a coder, and do automations. Like one of the things that I've built in Zapier are content generation engines, where you ask people a few questions, they answer those questions, and it generates a bunch of social media content, or it generates an article or whatever it might be. So you can do it there. So there's sort of the whole world of application development that can be super technical all the way up to, fairly kind of front end, easy kind of stuff. Then you've got all of the business process innovation. How are we going to do project management moving forward? How are we going to do HR? How are we going to do customer support, right? Imagine taking these tools and completely reinventing the customer support experience with synthesized voice, actually picking up the phone and answering questions and being competent and having the authority to do stuff, right? That's going to require obviously some technology stuff. But even if someone builds that tool, there's all sorts of innovation around how do you roll a tool like that out across a company that does customer support the way they do it today. Every single function, whether it's copywriter or art director or consultant or researcher or engineer or anyone, nurse, anyone who's dealing with any computer-mediated job, which is essentially, in today's society, it's almost every job. Even if you're a mechanic, working on cars all day long, how do you take money? With computers. How do you schedule people? With computers. How do you send messages? With your phone, with computers, right? So almost all of our workforce today is computer mediated. Anything that's computer mediated is going to be transformed by these tools. How we deal with that transformation and what that transformation is, that's all the innovation. Like every single thing is going to be innovation. Even though these things are doing remarkable things, it's up to us to figure out how we want to wield them to make the change, to make the difference. So, fucking massive opportunity. Massive, massive, massive. Upstream, downstream, change management, holy shit. People that are like, I can help you. So imagine you're working in an industry like the advertising business, which I know pretty well. And you've spent the last 6 decades, charging time and materials. Basically, the way you get paid is you tell people, I'm going to have these 50 people working 40 hours a week at $120 an hour to write you copy for all of your advertising. Well, now a tool comes along that can just do that. So rather than 50 people at 40 hours a week, I might be able to do the same amount of work at the same level of quality with 10 people working 20 hours a week. What happens to that advertising executive that spent the last 50 years with a business model that just got obliterated? They're going to need help. They're going to need to figure this out. So there's a role for someone to just figure out all of the shit that just exploded. How do we tape it back together? How do we keep these companies still running? So it's like innovation's going to be everywhere. And with innovation comes pain and, suffering and weirdness and awkwardness and resistance and fear and excitement and young little upstart agencies that are going to come in and say, hey, I'm going to charge a flat fee for advertising and we're going to deliver things twice as fast at half the price. You want some? And they're going to become the next big thing. And the big old agency that resists that change is going to potentially fall by the wayside. Some of the big agencies will make the transition, some won't. And I think about every single fucking business is going through that. Everyone. Are we there yet? No. Is it coming? Yeah. How fast? I don't know. It ain't going to be slow. It ain't going to be 5 years. It's going to be a year, 2. It's already happening. So yes, much innovation coming. We're in the middle of it. That's why I'm so excited. This is like these are you don't get to live through these kind of transitions very often in a generation, if ever. In my life, the 3 that I think are them are the personal computer. I was too young for that. The World Wide Web and generative AI. And after I did the World Wide Web thing, I didn't think I'd see another one of these in my lifetime. And then along came this thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to jump to the bottom. I'm more than 99 questions behind. There's 96 people in here, 92 now. And I'm going to answer a few more questions. And then I'm going to go to bed by Sunday night. We got Labor Day tomorrow. Barbecue is Memorial Day, but is barbecue also Labor Day? I don't know. I don't know how to celebrate this particular holiday. Although I do find it curious that on Labor Day we've got this tool amongst us that is going to transform how we work in pretty dramatic ways. So that's interesting. Well, ain't that special? Yeah. Let's see. I wonder who invented AI. Who could have that been? Huh? Oh, I know who it was. Was it Satan? All right. I hate Bing too. Perplexity is amazing. Just use DALL-E through Bing. That's all. Yep. I use it for that if I want to do it really quick. But now that this exists. By the way, I'll go to ideogram.ai, IDEO, like the company IDEO, but it's not them. Gram.ai. And it's just like one of these sites that has like a bunch of images on it. But notice what the images have. They all have words. And so you can just make words. So I can put in make money with ChatGPT! Exclamation point. And then I'll go, let's see, Roger Black style poster. And we'll do poster, and we'll do typography, and we'll do vertical, and we'll do generate. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Make money with ChatGPT. It doesn't always get it right, but it gets it right now. Like, that's not even close. Make S's with money ChatGPT. Make this with ChatGPT. But yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. You can do words, you can do pictures. So this is the one that I use now instead of Bing or anything quick, because it's super simple. That's all it is. You pick vertical, horizontal, or square. You put in a prompt. The quality of the image rendering on this one is like DALL-E. It's not super great. It's maybe a little bit better than DALL-E, but it's not Midjourney. If you want good images, go to Midjourney. But if you want something like I love Comic Sans, well, that one should be in Comic Sans, shouldn't it? But like, there's a Netflix logo. It does logos pretty good. I had it do a couple of NFL logos, and it got pretty close. A pig saying "Eat more chicken," cute. I just baked some fuck up cakes. Some fuck up cakes. That's awesome. So yeah, that's ideogram.ai. Pretty slick, ain't it? Ain't it? It's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like them taters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. 9:45 in Shannonland. Thank you, Emilio's wife. Which AI can you use to help me with my business? All of them, really. But just quite honestly, the one to really just pay attention to right now, if you're just getting started with this stuff, is just go to ChatGPT. It's got this thing called advanced data analysis, which you can use to analyze business spreadsheets and things like that, and all sorts of data. But just learning ChatGPT for your business, start with what are you trying to do within your business, and then start asking ChatGPT about the problems you want to solve, and just wait for it to blow your fucking mind. And then you can also go to this thing, prompts.chat, that little bottom thing there. That will teach you how to talk to ChatGPT, and it'll give you a lot of ideas for how you can use it. That's where I would start. There may be more specialized tools like Jasper or Copy AI for marketing, or things that are more specialized for doing numbers or doing whatever, websites or marketing. There's going to be all sorts of specific tools. Almost all of them are based on the core underlying technology here. So if you get your head around what these things make possible, then you can start to look for specific tools that solve problems if you can't solve them yourself. 38,000. We're up to 49,000 likes. You all are nuts. You're nuts. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Check out factiverse.ai for free fact checking. It's been a while since I used it, but bookmarked. Very cool. We've seen Facebook. Each platform has its own strengths. You said Apple. Yeah, Apple's going to be coming out swinging with this AI stuff. They're going to do it right, and they're going to be good. And here's the thing about Apple. Apple has a very good reputation for not fucking with our privacy. You know, refusing to open back doors for governments, and doing things like having, keeping private keys like locally locked on your hardware. So Apple's got a really good reputation for privacy. And when they do this AI stuff, they're going to do it locally. If you paid attention to the Vision Pro announcement, one of the chips so a couple of things. Within the M2 chips, there's all sorts of machine learning shit that can be done in the M2 chips. They also have this thing called the R1, the reality chip, which is taking the input from all the sensors on the goggles and doing real-time machine learning on device, on that chip. So Apple's going to be fucking phenomenal at local machine learning processing, which just basically means your data's safe, right? You're not sending it to them. You're not sending it to OpenAI. You're not sending it anywhere. You're going to be able to take your data, GPT the shit out of it, and feel confident that all of that stuff is within your own little data bubble. So I think, and they're also just really good at defining new categories. So I think they're just going to be good at that shit. They won't be good at it. Are LLMs anything more than innovation in HCI? What's HCI? Human computer interface? They are. So yeah, JD. I mean, I would suppose that technically you could abstract it up to it's an improvement in human computer interface. But here's the big difference, the way I think about it. Historically, if I want to understand some data, I've got to find the data set. I've got to look at all the data. I've got to clean up the data. Like if people's addresses are typed in there in inconsistent formats where some of them split the data out into different fields and some of them are in the fields, I've got to clean up all that data. And then I, as a data analyst or as a programmer, need to think about, okay, I've got the following data elements and I want to accomplish the following task. How do I need to logically think about how I might combine and analyze this data in such a way that it gives me some desired result? And I have to do all of that logical thinking. You can now just ask this shit to figure it out for you. Or you can just say, hey, so here's another example. Here's how Google works. Google, you say, I want to learn about the Mesopotamian War. And Google's like, awesome. I got all the links of all the people talking about the Mesopotamian War for all of internet time. Here's all your links. And then the first 7 links are ads to buy Mesopotamian t-shirts. Right? They look like articles, but they're really just ads for t-shirts. And you're like, God damn it. And then over time, you click on enough links, and then you go read the articles, and you think, okay, I got the Mesopotamian War. It started over this, and then it did this, and you're learning, right? And this is taking you however long it's taking you, a week, 2 weeks. And then you learn enough about that war, and you're like, hey, I wonder what the comparison is of the evolution of that war with World War II, because I know a lot about World War II. So, you know what would be really cool is if I compared them. So I'm going to take the starting points of each of them. So I'm going to go research this, and I'm going to go research this, and then I'm going to put it in a Google Doc, like start of war, and this one started here, and World War II started here, and I'm going to, okay, with these things, you go, here. I'm going to do GPT 3.5 because it's just really fucking impressive. And I got to turn off my custom instructions because I think it's acting like an idiot right now. Yeah, I'm going to turn that off. Okay. New chat, GPT 3.5. You're a history professor that specializes in the analysis of major wars, period. Make a table comparing the major historical milestones of the Mesopotamian War and World War II. So you could say to me that that's just an improvement in human computer interface, but this is something different, right? This is knowledge on demand. Google was information on demand, but it was up to us as humans to learn the shit, to find the shit, to sift through it, to think logically about how one thing compared to the other. This just does it. Time period. 3000 BC to 539 BC. World War II, 39 to 45. Geographic scope, primarily centered in Mesopotamia. Geographic scope, global, right? So it understood what I was asking for. It gave me things. Now, that was without even trying, without really knowing anything about it. If you knew something about it, you could do incredibly sophisticated analysis of these two things, essentially instantly. Now, might it hallucinate and give you wrong things? Yeah, it might. Will it do that 2 years from now? No, it won't, right? So, yeah, it's a fundamentally different thing. It's a fundamentally different way to interact with computers. So it's not just an improvement in interface, in my opinion. But I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. All right, I've got 10 minutes. What do you think about this? What? Is it as good as the hype says? What? Oh, idx.dev. I have not heard the hype on it, but let's go look at it. idx.dev. It says it couldn't reach the page. idx.dev. It must be wrong. I like totals. Hi, Kyle. Hello, Robert Rossi. Cam Catkin. La. Hi, Cam Catkin. Pleased to meet you. Actually, Cam Catkin would be a great name for someone selling a class on making money with GPT. Hi, Cam Catkin here. You can make money with ChatGPT. I'm Cam Catkin. This is Get Rich with ChatGPT. Large language models are your friend. The first class is free. Would you prefer Starbucks or... Oh, that's cute. I'm not going to say it because I'll probably get booted off TikTok. Best businesses. ChatGPT helped me write a cool book. Nice. It's how good you are at props. How to monetize. You got to figure out a way to use these tools in a way that people are going to pay you to use them. Clip is hilarious. Sorry. Couple of years at least. Best biz. It's in the mail. Let's see. I'm jumping to the bottom here because I only got a few more minutes. Totally agree. I've been in sales, business, development, accounting, and HR. I see untold potential. Yep. Finish the summer party. Oh, that's what Labor Day is? Yep. The future of AI is coming like a freight train with Ray Kurzweil at the helm. Yeah, I just saw there's an interview with Ray from about 3 months ago or so where he's talking about, the singularity, and they were talking about when is it coming. And he said his prediction years ago was 2029. And a bunch of AI people just sort of lowered their estimate from like 2040 or 2038 to 2030. So people just sort of lowered their estimate from like 2040 or 2038 to 2030. So it seems like in the next handful of years, we're going to be seeing some pretty remarkable shit. I reckon. I like taters. All right. What about llama? Llama, big deal. Llama, big deal. Llama 2. And code llama. So if you want to go play with llama, you can go to labs.perplexity.ai if you're not geeky and don't feel like installing shit in virtual machines or on your machine. Labs.perplexity, thank you for the llama, Winston. Labs.perplexity lets you play with Llama 2, 7 billion, 13 billion, 70 billion, and then Code Llama. And Code Llama just beat GPT-4 for coding. So shit's getting better. And it's free, and it's open source, and it's not really open source. It's commercially licensable, but you can use it without paying them a penny all the way up until you have more than 700 million customers. So as long as you have less than 700 million customers, you're good to go. It's a big, big deal. Thelonious, sorry if I appeared condescending. Whatever. Double check. It's not always accurate. I did. Okay. Thank you for the llama. Llama. Have you spoken about ChatGPT? Ask ChatGPT. Oh, ChatGPT. No. Is it like a dude? Someone fine-tuned it to act like a dude? We could do that. We could make it act like a surfer dude. Sorry, it's not called Twitter anymore, Nancy. It's called X now. I don't know if you knew that, but now it's called X. Okay, Nancy? All right. Let's see. Chad GPT. GPT. Chad gets it. Is it an account? Hey, bro, you heard you were looking for big gains. Oh, ChatGPT has you covered here. Oh, so it's like a crypto bro? Oh, here it is. ChatGPT with a check mark. Sup, bros? Yeah, perfect. Awesome. That's awesome. Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. What? AI Double Learning Lab is still on TikTok? Is it really, Cavruno? Are you serious? I thought... All right, so if that's the case, it's back, but it doesn't look like it has content. All right, we'll do a little service announcement here. All right, so this sucks if it's back. Consistent little fucker, isn't he? So, this is us. This is this. This is an asshole who is a scammer. So if anyone reaches out to you purporting to be me asking you to invest in some crypto bullshit, check really closely. It's really hard to miss that there's two lowercase L's together. I put them large just so you can see it. That sucks. So anyway, just be careful out there. Be careful out there, folks. All right, with that, we're gonna get on out of here. Listen, I think TikTok would not be happy with me if I didn't say so. We've got a store in here now. So I've got 3 pieces of merch. I just put it up tonight, so I'm just trying to figure out if I can get it to work. So that's there. You can go check that out. I'll probably add more stuff to that, but if TikTok keeps telling me I've got to talk about the store more, I'll just pull it down and put it somewhere else. We'll just make a store somewhere else, and I'll just point people to it. All right, Cavruno, I had it make a whole bunch of content this morning. Cool. All right, listen, folks. Happy Sunday night. Been cool hanging out with you. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you tomorrow sometime. Have a fantastic Labor Day. And let's do our little romper room roundup here. I see Nancy, and I see Winston, and I see Riff Raff, and Matthew Craig official. Be careful of Matthew Craig not official. It's not the same. It's not official. Harshweed 3, Cavruno, peace. Emilio's wife, good night. Good night, Tobias. Let's see, Steve-O, Firefly, Robert Rossi, Chris Rocker, Omar Domay, Night from Oz. Oh, cool. We got Australia in the house. Is it morning there? It must be morning there. Down in the mud. All right, everybody. Cam Catkin. This is Cam Catkin checking out. You can make money with ChatGPT. I'm Cam Catkin. See y'all.